Interns come to UVA for medical school and they have to learn a new language. That language is orthopedic surgery. Over the course of 5 years, they go from being medical students to being practicing orthopedic surgeons. My goal as the program director is to give them the resources they need, give them the faculty mentorship that they need, as well as the surgical opportunities they need in order to become excellent surgeons. Over the course of that 5 years, they're going to have the opportunities to work with different faculty, get different kinds of mentors, have exposure to the clinic and to the operating room, and really get a great skill set to come out of this program.
We have one of the most comprehensive programs when it comes to residency education and clinical experience. We have almost 30 clinical faculty spread across 7 divisions. Every division in orthopedic surgery is represented. We have a robust curriculum for each of the divisions, and residents rotate several times through each of our divisions. The operative experience is substantial. There are daily didactic conferences, including weekly service-specific conferences. Not only do you do rotations across all 7 specialties here at UVA, but we have rotations at Carilion Medical Center in Roanoke with Carilion Orthopaedics, and they are a department as large as ours and have a very diverse group of specialties that are represented, and residents get a tremendous experience working at 2 level 1 trauma centers throughout their training.
There's a few things that when I rotated as an away rotating med student, it was the first time I had come to Virginia, that really kind of struck me and I was really excited about when I came to this program. Number one was the relationships with the residents, with each other, and not only in the hospital, but also outside the hospital. So in the hospital, the chiefs were always willing to help the junior residents splint or help see consults. And outside the hospital, everyone was either talking about going on a hike together, going biking. Like, there were a lot of things that people were excited to not only experience in the surrounding area, but go do together.
When I was going through the residency application process as a medical student, I was looking at UVA as a residency, and I compared it to a lot of other programs. And after my rotation here, it was clear that the amount of surgical experience, the amount of clinical care that we experienced here as residents was parallel to none. And now, being 4 years into the program, I can really say that this has been an exceptional experience in all aspects, surgical, clinically, but also the research component, which is a huge part in today's practice. From the get-go, I was able to get involved in projects. I was able to find mentors that helped me drive forward certain projects and publications, whether I wanted to go into hand, joints. Regardless, you'll find somebody here that will help you out. And that was one of the things that really drew me in.
We have established our rotation so that each rotation will have a chief resident and a junior resident. And I think that near-peer teaching ends up being very important. Our chief residents ultimately have a much better understanding of kind of what the PGY1 or PGY2 needs at that stage in their training. And so as a program director and as a faculty, I do think it's important that our chief residents have a say in the overall structure of that rotation and the overall curriculum within our program.
As chair of this department, and someone who has worked at UVA for 30 years and on faculty for 20 years, one of the things that I'm most proud about is how committed the UVA faculty are to resident and fellow education. They are passionate about it. They are 100% engaged. They come to work because they enjoy it. And it really is a gratifying feeling to mentor and teach someone so that they can be the best orthopedic surgeon possible for the future.
It's very collegial here. There's not a single faculty member that I would not want to spend a day in the operating room with. Oftentimes, after a long day in clinic, we go out for beers and or we're having barbecues. So there's a great social component, not just work, also social component to this residency, which makes it very unique. For the past 4 years, I've thoroughly enjoyed that interaction with the faculty.
In the hospital, a lot of the attendings were available to provide advice, and not just advice on surgery, it was advice on life and advice on future practice. And outside the hospital, they were always willing to have residents over for pool parties. A lot of the residents and attendings actually go biking together. It's become a huge thing here recently. There's a huge Saturday morning bike crowd.
Aside from the fantastic collegiality here at UVA, there is a life outside of the hospital, and Charlottesville is a fantastic place to live. It's a small college town, but it provides a lot of things, fantastic food. We have a lot of wineries. There's a lot of outdoor opportunities.
I think Charlottesville's got all the great elements of a more cosmopolitan, larger city in a much smaller town feel. You've got great restaurants, the culture here is great concerts. You have UVA sports, and You know, whether or not you're a UVA fan, I think once you come to Charlottesville, you realize the town kind of bleeds orange and blue when it comes to our sports teams.
It's a great place to entertain family and friends from out of town.
We have been one of the fastest growing departments here at the University of Virginia over the last 10 years. We are the busiest surgical service, inpatient and outpatient surgery, within the UVA Medical Center for the last 7 years. And our patient volumes have grown tremendously every year. So as a result of us growing as a department, there's been a huge investment by UVA Health and the University of Virginia in the Department of Orthopedics. We have a brand new orthopedic center, Ivy Mountain Orthopedic Center, that is currently under construction. It will be one of the best orthopedic centers in the country when it opens in February of 2022. The future of UVA Orthopaedics is incredibly bright, and I hope you will consider us very strongly for your residency.